sometimes when things aren't going your way, you just have to laugh about it, right?
Wait a second.
Or not. Look at you.
Look at me.
I bring to you these 15. 10 commandments.
Is it bad that another 400-yard passer is coming into Buffalo next week?
Mm-hmm. Sure is.
Captain Kirk.
All right. We're going to start this week's fantasy segment with start any Vikings player you could get your hands on. Any of them. Doesn't matter.
Kirk Cousins, Diggs, Thielen, Cook, Rudolph, go. Can I draft all of them in my fantasy league and play them this week?
Yeah, that's right.
We got to stop this. We got to stop.
Hating? Are we hating? We're sitting on the haterade?
We're drinking a tall glass of haterade right now. But the reality is, you got the Vikings coming in here.
Mm-hmm.
And they're throwing the ball left and right. They're running the ball pretty decent.
Mm-hmm.
They have a defensive-minded coach where their defense is scary.
Mm-hmm.
Benjamin versus Rhodes is not something I like.
No.
You got Anthony Barr, Kendricks.
You know what bothers me?
That defensive line
is Dalvin Cook scares me, because Dalvin Cook brings the same type of ability to just beat you out of that backfield, not necessarily running the ball, as what we saw Gordon do to the Bills. Now, Gordon's not known for coming out and catching passes. I think he got like 9 at Wisconsin. They ran the football there, right?
They did.
He wasn't used as a receiver, although he catches the ball fine. It's a little. Dalvin Cook scares me a lot.
He is. Are you more scared of him or Diggs and Thielen?
Well, I mean, whenever you lose anybody in your secondary because they retired, especially when you started them that game, the Bills are going to be dying for cornerback depth. Anything they can get their hands on right now. Anything.
Where's Dave Chappelle? You got any more of those defensive backs?
You guys got any? Yeah. D-backs.
Oh, Jesus. I got to tell you, though, I am more terrified of that defense than I am of their offense. And their offense, as we know, is very high-powered, very potent.
The offense is middle of the ground right now, middle of the pack. I know it's only 2 games, but like Latavius Murray doesn't scare me. And you're not going to run on the Bills inside. That's the one thing I can say I'm happy knowing is that nobody's run on the Bills outside. Inside, yeah. Nobody's run on the Bills inside.
Outside, yes.
Outside all day.
A bit.
Yeah. But inside, nobody's running on the Bills inside. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. But I have some major reservations about this game upcoming.
Do you think now
that defense, man, is scary? Let
me put a scenario out for you. If the Bills lose, obviously if they win, it's going to be an improvement. If the Bills lose 35-24 to the Vikings, is that an improvement?
Is 32 scored in the first half?
I quit. No, I'm saying if it's because today people look at 31-20, that wasn't that bad. But like, it wasn't that close.
No, it wasn't that close.
So I mean, I'm just trying to look at the fact that it's like what would be other than a win, because we know what would be an improvement of this team, because that's the way we're going to measure the Buffalo Bills going on for the next 14 weeks of their season is how are they improving?
Yeah.
What would be a mark of improvement for this team moving forward? Is Edmonds 2 pass deflections on running backs that come out of the backfield? Is that an improvement? Yeah, that'd be an improvement. Is him not getting caught up in the mesh? an improvement? Yeah. I mean, would holding Diggs and Thielen under 100 be an improvement? Would Josh Allen, completing 60% of his passes an improvement? Obviously, how are we going to measure this team going forward? Because I think after the first 2 games, not a lot of people think that this team is going to win a lot of games, and they're already upset about it.
Yeah,
and they're like visibly like upset. Like I saw a lot of individuals that were visibly upset about the Buffalo Bills, what's going on this year. What would be an improvement in your eyes for this team?
Well, we got comments in the chat from the post game that there were some people that were actually physically ill. Physically ill from watching this team.
That may have been alcohol induced.
Yeah, perhaps. I think you look at if they can start running the football, right? They need to run this football. They need to run the ball. If they can't run the ball, then this offense is dead in the water. That's just all there is to it. You have to be able to run the football, and they simply have not been able to get that done. And with this line, unfortunately, this line is not going to give Josh Allen a ton of time to throw, so they have to be able to run the football. That's it. So once you see LaShawn McCoy get, 15 carries,
yeah,
that would be an improvement.
Get 15. I mean,
yeah,
you're in a game.
Yeah, he's not 46 years old, but
no.
The first game he got 7?
He's a couple ribs down from Groy though.
No,
that was bad. The thing that I will stand corrected. You know what I mean? I'll admit my mistakes and everything. Sure. I thought the fact that they were going to start Josh Allen would have opened up running lanes for McCoy because teams would have known now they have to back off.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't have loaded the box up. What they're doing now is they're loading the box out and they're blitzing.
Yeah.
And that's forcing the Buffalo. So listen, okay, let's take care of McCoy. Let's take care of the running game. We're going to give you guys man on in the back because we know that these wide receivers are not going to win one-on-one battles.
Yeah.
Unless they could start winning one-on-one battles, this season's going to keep going the way it's going.
Yeah,
it's going to be
you
awful.
You would think that man up would make life easy for Allen because it's easy to do the math. You look and you're like covered. Okay, whoever opens, but he's just stare down central still, staring at targets the whole way, and he's not working the field at all, and that's just a killer, man. That's such a killer because there's guys that are flailing their arms looking for the football, and he's just not going to get it to him right now. So what I think needs to happen is the Bills need to be able to run the ball, and Allen's getting fooled a lot pre-snap, like a lot pre-snap. He doesn't know where any of that pressure's coming from. The game is moving way too fast for him right now.
Gus Bradley's not a slouch.
No,
I mean he designed a very, very good. He was there in Jacksonville when they were building that team. That defense is there now. So it's not like one of those things where, you just got a first-time defensive coordinator that's outsmarted Dable. You know what I mean? So, what a treat for LA to have. I mean, you got Wisenhunt and Bradley, 2 former head coaches as your coordinators.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, the Bills have Leslie Frazier. We saw how that went today. It went fine last year. Just saying, it went fine last year. But I haven't been impressed with this offense at all. People were raving about it in the preseason, like, oh, this is going to be so great. Look at how dynamic it is. It's not dynamic. Can't run the football. In today's NFL, passing is at the premium. But this team needs to have a defense that can keep the opponent under 20 points, and you need to grind the ball because these receivers are just not – if they can't get separation in man coverage, they're not going to – you think Josh Allen's going to be able to thread the needle on cover 3? No.
Yeah.
No, it's not going to happen. It's not. There's going to be too many moving parts for him. It's simple right now, and he's getting fooled pre-snap. And good God, how bad was that pass to Marcus Murphy when he was rolling out? Murphy was gone. He catches that ball, he is gone. Not only did Allen throw it over his head, he threw it over his head behind his back shoulder. That's the thing. You saw Allen throw bullets on passes that just don't need it.
Oh, that touchdown pass though. His feet was already planted, and he threw that all arm.
Yep.
That's the stuff that a lot of people were talking about. But the thing is though, you said it. This league, passing is at a premium. So everyone's setting up their defense to protect the pass. So if you can be a run-first team, it's almost like they're not built for that.
No.
However, the Vikings are built for that.
Yeah,
Zimmer understands that because he knows he plays in a division that, yeah, it has Stafford. Yeah, it has Rodgers. But when it starts to hit November and December, you got to be able to stop the run just as well as the pass. So, I mean, even though they play in a dome, they got to play there. I mean, at least at Green Bay, not in Detroit, but they got to play in Chicago. The point being is that you could be a little bit outside of the box in the fact that you have to run, but you have to establish this run and make it a legitimate threat against teams to open up lanes for Allen. Yeah. You have to try to get teams to play zone against you. Once they can start to play zone, these wide receivers can find some creases here and there. Yeah. And Allen can get it there, even if he makes the read late. He's making a read late now with guys playing man and nobody's open. Yeah. Like, what do I do? Do I throw it behind the guy? I think if he plays a little bit loose, like a little bit Brett Favre-ish, I know it's not a lot of people are going to like that, but if he's able to do that and say, okay, this guy's covered, but the defender's not looking at me, I'm going to throw it behind and let him adjust to it, maybe get a pass interference call. He's not at that level yet. No. You know what I mean? There's veteran quarterbacks that will be like, I'll just throw it. I'm not going to complete it, but I'll get a pass interference call.
You know, I think you bring up an interesting point with Zimmer saying, let's stop the run, because look, if you do look at that division, you want to make sure that Aaron Rodgers doesn't have the option to run the football.
Yeah.
Right? If Aaron Rodgers runs that offense and they can run the football, kiss that game goodbye. You don't stand a chance.
Oh, yeah.
You don't stand a chance. If you could shut down the run, then at least you know that Rodgers is going to be thrown. Is he still going to pick you apart? Sure. But if he has the option to run the football, you don't stand a chance in that game. You don't stand a chance. You look at Chicago. The way to beat them has been to shut down the run because it's the only thing they can do. They haven't been able to pass the ball in 4 seasons.
Yeah.
So, you know, I think that's an interesting point. This is a really nasty matchup for the Bills. Really nasty. And I don't see this offense being able to score anything on this defense, man. Again, you're looking at a situation where the Bills are going to have to get creative with their looks. And you saw them try and set up plays today, like the jet. They ran that jet sweep. You saw them try and set up plays, but they weren't successful. That line just gives nobody time. There's no lanes at all. There's no lanes anywhere.
That's what I would have been doing if I was Dable today.
What?
I mean, knowing how your next week opponent or the opponents that you have coming up, the game's over. You're not coming back. I would have ran plays in the second half that I've never run before, just so other teams have to plan for it. You know what I mean? It takes practice time for them. Let's say the Bills run a wildcat today.
That's interesting.
That's 25 minutes of practice time that the Vikings and everybody else are going to have to prepare for.
That's interesting.
So I would have ran plays that I've never ran before, just to kind of throw out guys off my scent.
We see Belichick do that all the time. We see Belichick run fake punts when they're up, 4 scores because why not?
You got to practice against it.
Yeah.
You have to account for it. So I got him.
It's going to be a tough game.
35-10.
Do you think the Bills
Minnesota
will score 10? Yeah, that's sweet.
Zimmer's not gonna keep the starters in all day.
Can somebody just please let one Bills drive know that the team that kicks the most field goals doesn't win the game? Can we just throw that out there?
I'll send a memo. I don't know if they're gonna get it.
Fine.